Twisted.
The top 5 reasons Prime will send you home without getting a CDL. Scary thing, you come all the way to Springfield, Missouri, or Pittston, PA, or Salt Lake City, and they're like, hey, you didn't even get a CDL, but we're sending you home. Why is that? So I think the number one thing that happens to people is whenever they leave their house, let's face it, some people were wanting a party before they leave home. So, once they get here, they have to take a drug test, or maybe the random drug test pops up and you have to take it. And then you're like, oh no, like I'm going to fail this drug test. I'm screwed. And, you either you quit then and you walk away, or number 2, you take that drug test pretty much knowing that you're going to fail it, and you take your chances, and they find out that you failed a drug test. So they send you home before you get a CDL. Just because you're a student here, you're not technically hired on right now, does not mean you can't get sent home, and that does not mean that you can't be popped for a random drug test. I've had plenty of students that came out here, and we go through outbound or inbound, go on a load or something, and they say, hey, you've been selected for a random drug test. It happens. The main thing is keep yourself clean. You don't have to worry about it. Now, the next thing, reason number 2 people get sent home is because they go out to one of these restaurants or these bars and consume alcohol. During the whole training process, it is no alcohol. Like, they make sure it's known before you even leave the first class. They say, hey, look, out here while we're in training, we are consuming 0 alcohol, and they are dead serious on it. Like, the areas that you're going to school at, people know that you're not from those areas. They can take one look at you and say, this guy's here for training. And they see you out there drinking, they're going to call Prime, or maybe you and your buddies drink too much and you'll cause a scene, and that reflects back on Prime. So they're going to terminate you right there. Not even terminate you. You don't have a job yet. They're going to send you home without you even getting a CDL. I had a guy in my class when I came to Prime, and he failed a drug test. So he told his buddy, he said, hey man, let's go have some drinks at Applebee's. And his buddy, he was good. He was going to get a stay. Then he went over there and had some drinks with them. And guess what? They sent them both home. And, that's not good, because they tell you they're going to send you home if you consume alcohol during training. So just don't be going to the bars and don't be consuming alcohol. And you can wait until after you completely finish training and you're on your days off. You're nowhere around a semi truck, a big vehicle. Do it safe. Get an Uber ride home. All that good stuff. Now, the third reason they might send you home before you received a CDL is because you have some discrepancies on your application. Something on there is not true, or come to find out they can't find reason to believe that what it says on your application is true. So, like, say you put down some references, make sure they're answering their phones, because Prime will check these references. If you just get a phone book and you scroll the pages open and you say, I'm putting down this guy because my friends might tell them something that I don't want them to tell them, they're going to send you home, because they cannot call all your references and make sure that they're legit and make sure that you're a good person like you say you are. Also, the work history gets a lot of people. If you've been fired from a job, you need to tell them that. Big gaps. If you got some big gaps in your work history, then you have to explain why there's big gaps there. You're going to have to let them know, hey, I didn't work because of this reason. Whatever it may be, the best thing in the application process is being honest. Also, it's a good idea to bring W-2s and stuff like that, because some of the places you worked might have shut down over the years, and you need to be able to show that you work for them, because they're going to call these places and make sure that you were working from this period to this period at that place. So make sure that y'all are, you bring as much paperwork as you can to justify everything on your application. Make sure you let everybody know that you can, that Prime will be calling them, and, just be honest on your application. That go also, tickets. Did you get a speeding ticket? Did you get into an accident? There's a lot of stuff you have to put down on there. Make sure you're putting everything down on there. Don't lie about nothing. It could have been like a little ticket. If you got to remember what you got tickets for, because they're going to want to know, hey, what happened in this situation? What happened here? And if you're found to be lying on this application about this stuff, Prime does not want to mess with you. So you're going home before you even get a CDL. Make that big trip here just to lie on the application and get sent home that way. That has to be hard. So the next thing people get sent home for without getting a CDL is not passing that CDL test. So, with all the work that you're doing, everything you do to get ready for that CDL test, we'll take pre-trip, for example. Did you do everything you could to study that pre-trip, or did you slack off on it? If you fail that pre-trip and you keep on failing that pre-trip, they're going to ask you, hey, what's going on? And, did you do enough work to get that pre-trip done? Maybe it's the backing. You keep failing the backing and you're failing it over and over and over. And you've been here a long time. You've been here for like 4 or 5 weeks. This is an accelerated program. So maybe you keep failing that backing test. You fail it too many times. Maybe it's nerves. Maybe it's not nerves. Maybe you just can't do it. They're going to send you home after you fail it so many times. You're going to get multiple chances. I'm not saying it's one time and you're done. Don't stress yourself out right there. But you're going to get multiple choice or multiple times to take that test. And if you keep on failing it, you're going to get sent home. And failing the driving. So if you're unsafe on this drive and you fail it, or you like pretty much anything you do on this drive is going to show that you're unsafe. If you fail this drive so many times, then they will send you home without getting your CDL. And, that's the hardest way to get sent home, because think about it. You did the hard part, the hardest part, in my opinion, the pre-trip. You finished that pre-trip. You finished the backing. You got to the last test. And you're just not performing on it. So, if you can't pass the CDL test, of course they're going to send you home without getting a CDL. This job right here, this Prime is going to do everything they can to get you to pass that test, but we do not hand out free CDLs here. No matter how bad you want it, we're not going to hand out free CDLs here. And then the last reason people get sent home, and this is kind of I call it like a blanket effect, is Prime, not Prime material. So pretty much, are you threatening people? Are you violent? Are you harassing people? Are you extremely dangerous? Like, is your trainer out there working with you and you're going down the road the wrong way? Like I've seen somebody try to turn onto the ramp off the highway. They were trying to turn onto that, even though it said dead end on both sides. Like, did you do that once, or did you do that 5 times? How dangerous are you inside a vehicle? Are you setting the brakes when you get out, or are you just jumping out and letting the truck roll off? Because that is not safe. If you can't remember to set the brakes, that's not safe. You're going to let a big semi truck just pile down the road. It's about safety. Are you learning how to drive to be safe? Are you making good decisions out there? Are you being a safe driver? There's a lot of different things that they could send you home from that they consider not Prime material. Are you late to class? Now, this is a big one. Are you late to class so many times that they say, you know what? Unfortunately, we cannot see that you would make your loads on time because you can't even come to class on time. They will send you home for being late multiple times. They will give you a couple chances. They'll give you about 2 chances. Third time, they're pretty much going to get, hey, go home. This is a job where you're required to be at certain places at certain times. And if you cannot make that time, then you're not prime material. You're not going to make these loads there. Maybe you get angry fast and you get frustrated fast, and you just, like, your trainer's out there having you backing and stuff. You get so mad, you just storm off in the middle of training, and you just storm off. Now, it's up to your trainer how he wants to handle that. Most of the time we go see the training department about that kind of behavior. And if they deem that you have a serious anger problem that you need to work on, they might send you home for a while and say, hey, go get that taken care of. Is most of the guys that get sent home for not prime material, they already have their CDLs whenever they come out here, but they don't know nothing about trucking. They have zero experience. They took a CDL test, they passed it, they have zero experience, and they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. They don't want to learn. They don't want to become safe. And a lot of it's that attitude of, hey, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. So, I got this. If y'all haven't seen it yet, check out that link up there. That link up there, it's going to send you to one of my videos about why you should not go to a CDL school and why you're better off. You might be better off going with a mega carrier. Check out that video right there. But, it's just prime material. There's a lot of things going into that, like threats of violence. Like I've heard people threaten their trainers, wanting to fight their trainers, trying to fight admin, yelling and cussing at people out there on the pad. I mean, and like it's a two-way street, because I've seen instructors out there getting loud with their students. Like, don't feed into that. If your instructor's getting loud with you, just let them yell when you finish working. Or if it's getting hostile where you feel like your instructor is gonna become, like, what's it called, physical, like hands-on, like maybe push you or something like that, or harm you, get away from the situation. But if he's just yelling because he's mad, let him calm down. And then after he calms down, go talk to your fleet manager, go through your chain of command, stuff like that. Don't bring yourself up to his level and try to yell back at him. It's just going to agitate him more. The best thing to do is let him cool down, go talk to somebody. Hey, I cannot deal with this trainer because of, he started yelling at me out there. He has an anger problem, whatever the case may be. Get you a new trainer. Don't bring yourself in that level, and don't put yourself in harm, and don't put anyone else in harm. So, as for we have all kinds of harassment, age discrimination, politics, sex discrimination. I mean, there's a whole lot of forms of harassment. So, racism, like there's a whole bunch of harassment. We are professionals. Let's act like professionals while we're here, or the whole time we're hired and we have a career here at Prime. Let's be professionals, so you know what? That is what I have for y'all today. This is the 5 reasons Prime Inc. will send you home without you attaining a CDL. Watch my latest video right here. Watch my latest video right there for the newest content coming out. It's right there. Click on that video now. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time.